afternoon and thank you for joining us today. This is the News 24 and I'm Azabullah with information on the latest events taking place in Uzbekistan. Entrance examinations to the bachelor degree of higher educational institutions started in Uzbekistan yesterday. In accordance with the information provided by the State Testing Center, on the first day the exams were organized for 71,340 applicants. They were held in 66 selected buildings. The exam halls are equipped with surveillance cameras, which ensures transparency and openness of entrance exams. Parents and public can watch the process of exams online. The exams are being organized all around Uzbekistan. The applicants have taken examinations in the Republic of Pakistan as well. A number of branches of the higher educational institutions of Tashkent and Samarkand have been established in Pakistan, which creates great opportunities for the youth residing in the RLC zone. It must be underscored that today the number of higher educational establishments in Pakistan reached 9. It makes it possible to solve the problems dealing with training highly qualified specialists for growing and promising branches of economy. Due to the novelties introduced in the admission of 2019 to 2020 academic year, applicants are enjoying a number of privileges. In particular, this year they can take part in the competition in 3 higher educational establishments at the same time. An opportunity to take the exam being in Nukus to study at educational institutions in Tashkent and other cities created additional chance for applicants. The transparency and openness during the examination increased confidence of applicants and their parents in the reforms held in the higher education system in Uzbekistan. Wide and bright rooms of the 2 sports schools have been selected to organize the examination process in Nukus city. All the conditions, including availability of every resource needed to fill in the answer sheets, as well as the presence of experienced teachers as observers, are created so that the applicants can take their exams. All the conditions are also created for parents to observe the process in schools nearby. The Central Council of the Militic Democratic Party has held a debate in the Youth Center of Namangan to discuss the party program and the project of the party's pre-election platform for 2020 to 2025. During the event, opinions and thoughts dealing with the current party documents were expressed. Malika Baratova has a story on the details of the event.
The debates were dedicated to preparations for elections and discussing the party's pre-election program. The pre-election program adopted 5 years ago was analyzed and suggestions voiced. Aspects that the document did not cover, which have become important today, were also stated. The activists put a series of timely questions on their agenda. At the meeting, there were a number of suggestions to ensure that the action plan does not stay on paper, but is actually realized in practice. The participants also talked about other pressing issues. For instance, what practical suggestions is the party offering for building the country's investment attractiveness and stability? Who is responsible for raising the new generation? What is the party's position on this issue? Is this question included in the new pre-election program? The suggestions voiced by party members became the subject of lively debates surrounding the role of the party and growing popular support for it. The activities of its primary organizations were critically analyzed. For instance, today the party needs to come out with an initiative for laws on tax amnesty, capital repatriation. Aside from that, tax benefits are being allocated, and for that process we need to develop appropriate suggestions. The participants also spoke of the level of attention that is given to issues faced by women. Having read the pre-election program, I'd like to say that the approach to this issue is rather weak. I'd like to ask, where does this program address questions important for women? Was this discussed with female members? In our region, we have district and city kangashas, and they have a total of just 7 women deputies. How are we, with only 7 female deputies, supposed to study the problems faced by women in the region? You have raised a very important issue. The party is trying to pay attention to these problems with help from our women's and youth wings. But we need to note that while legislation stipulates a quota for women of 30% in parliament, we can't fill it right away. For instance, a study conducted in Sweden has shown that women entering parliament to fill a quota of 20% took 60 years of fighting. So in connection with that, we can't, in an instant, raise the number of women deputies. We need time. The most important thing is political responsibility. The party's program also included questions concerning developing the national culture, resolving economic problems, increasing employment, improving the higher education system, creating an online sales platform for craftspeople. The deputies noted that developments will take off when party members will start speaking of real issues, not giving speeches. The participants asked whether the work of people's deputies in their districts was sufficient. The activists, supporters, and experts developed suggestions for improving the party platform, having concluded that it must be further amended and added to. Similar debates will be held in other regions as well.
For the last years, mutually beneficial cooperation between Uzbekistan and the USA has been intensifying. The ambassador of the United States to Uzbekistan has recently traveled to Namangan region to be introduced to the reforms in the economy and to take mutual partnership to a new level. The details of the given visit are in our following report prepared by my colleague.
The visit of the United States ambassador to Uzbekistan resulted in sincere and friendly dialogue and exchange of opinions. The guests were informed about the current social and economic life of Namangan city. Recent annual updates have shown that the region has expanded its capabilities in investment attractiveness. The site touched upon privileges specially created for entrepreneurs and business entities. Moreover, at the heart of the discussion was recent works directed to increase export volumes of the region, thematic measures on ensuring the employment of population, and close contacts with neighboring countries. Namangan region has offered proposals to expand U.S. investment and establish new cooperation in such spheres as education, healthcare, and innovation. The guest specifically said that a new investment should be directed to the US-based venture operating in Namangan. He expressed a willingness to raise productivity and workforce. He basically emphasized that today's economic opportunities in the region is going to be informed to American businessmen. After the meeting, the U.S. representative visited the current business process of world-famous Coca-Cola plant located in the center of the region and familiarized himself with the ongoing process. Following this, he got acquainted with the mechanism of public services centers in the region. The works carried out under the auspices of this agency was of great interest to the ambassador.
That was our last report for this issue of News 24. Thank you indeed for being with us. Goodbye.